Hello everybody out there in YouTube land, and welcome to DC Fans United. So today I'm going to be talking to you guys about one of my favorite supervillains, an upcoming movie, and some news about it. So I've talked about Black Adam quite a bit on this channel before. I actually did a supervillain biography video all about him. So if you want to know all the comic book history about Black Adam, definitely check that video out. I'll have a link to it in the description box. So the upcoming Black Adam movie, they've chosen a director, so I'm not going to bury the lead on that. I'm going to talk about the director, and then I'm going to go ahead and talk about the movie a little bit, and then about Black Adam, the character. So the director they chose is someone I really hadn't heard of before. He's named Jaume Collet-Serra. So he's actually done a few movies before. He's been around as a director, I guess, since 2005. He worked with one of the Matrix producers on his first movie, which was a remake of the 1953 movie House of Wax, and he's done some other kind of horror movies since then, and he went on to do The Shadows and The Commuter more recently, and that one was pretty high budget. It had Liam Neeson as starring in it, so he's definitely done some big movies. I just hadn't heard too much about him, but his film credits, he's got about 20 film credits, and he's going to be doing a movie called Jungle Cruise, so that's kind of a big deal because it's a Walt Disney movie. And this, ironically, or oddly, you could say, is kind of his connection to this Black Adam movie, and I think how he got the role. And you say, Disney, how is that a connection? Well, it's not Disney so much, it's the star of this movie, this Disney movie Jungle Cruise, that he will be directing. The starring actor is Dwayne Johnson. So, of course, you know Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, is going to be playing Black Adam in this movie. We've actually known that for a very long time. I can't even remember, it was like 2014. Yeah, 2014 when it was announced that Dwayne Johnson would be playing Black Adam. So that, I think, is the connection. They must have talked or something. Dwayne Johnson was looking for a director, and he must have liked this guy or liked his work. And I'm pretty sure that's how he got the role. You would be surprised how often that's the case. It's usually who you know, especially in Hollywood. It seems to be a lot of the times people get acting parts or even get to direct movies just based on who they know and who they talk to. I mean, even the Mary Marvel actress, and I did a video about this, she just got signed for a 5-movie deal with Warner Brothers, but she played Mary Marvel in the Shazam movie, but she had previously worked with the Shazam director on Annabelle something or other, the one David Sandberg did, but she was in that. So when she auditioned to become Mary Marvel, she didn't even audition in person, she just sent in a tape, and it was like, well, David Sandberg was the director, he'd already worked with her, he knew she was great, so it's just like she got the role, So I really think who you know is a big part of it, and that's why I think he was probably chosen. I'm hopeful, though. I'm not really concerned about him mostly having done horror movies before. I mean, it seems to be the way a lot of directors get started. Even Peter Jackson, right? He did the friggin' Lord of the Rings, but he started off doing horror movies. Even, James Wan, who has done DC's most successful movie ever, Aquaman, he did The Conjuring and all that. He went through and did a bunch of horror movies too. And those movies were actually very successful. I don't know. James Wan's got the golden touch, I guess. I would think DC would want him to be their new Zack Snyder and just kind of direct everything. But they're having a multiple directors approach. Seems to be working too. Shazam did okay in the box office. It wasn't the director's fault. I think there were some other reasons that held it back. I've done videos talking about that too. So anyways, we don't know a ton about Black Adam other than, now we know of course the actor Dwayne Johnson, and we know the director, but we don't know a ton else as far as the story and everything else. We do know that it's supposed to be the 3rd movie in the Shazam series of movies that's planned, so they keep pushing it back, but there's, obviously Shazam has come out. There's going to be the sequel to Shazam, which should have Dr. Sivana again, teamed up with Mr. Mind, and then the 3rd movie will have The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Black Adam. So, yeah, Black Adam's just a really cool villain. Like, he's ridiculously strong. Really, in the comics, going way back, he could fight the entire, well, back then it was called the Marvel family, but the whole Shazam family, he could fight them solo. So it's, Shazam will really have his work cut out for him, but he has his own Shazam family. It'll be interesting to see, too, if they introduce more Shazam characters in the second movie, like, Tawny the Tiger or something like that. It'd be really cool. So I'm curious to see how they do it, and I'm curious to see if they introduce Black Adam in the second movie. I'm really thinking they will. I mean, they introduced Mr. Mind in the first movie, so I don't know why they wouldn't introduce Black Adam in the second movie. He may even play sort of a big role, but I wouldn't get my hopes up on that. It really doesn't seem like it. So one other thing too, they're talking about Asher Angel. He played Billy Batson when he's a boy, when he's not transformed into Shazam. He played him in Shazam. But this article I'm reading, they're talking about him getting older now and him being too old to play Billy anymore, but I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. If Billy gets older, like, why wouldn't the actor get older too? So they're talking about maybe switching him out for a younger actor for the sequels, but if it's all in chronological order, I don't see why on earth they would do that. I mean, in the comics, Billy was always young, but it doesn't have to be that way. Like, personally, I think they should stick with all the actors. Like, the acting in that Shazam was very good. It's one thing DC does pretty well is cast good actors who can, they're almost typecast. Like, they fit really well. Everyone in Shazam looked like they were straight out of the Jeff Johns Shazam comics from the New 52 and Rebirth. So I think that's all for now as far as this goes. If you have any more news about Black Adam, let me know. Like, he's really one of my favorites villains. He's just so ridiculously strong. Like in World War III, he fights almost everyone. He fights, of course, just everyone is ridiculous. The Power 10, the Doom Patrol, Power Girl, Green Lantern, Father Time. There's so many, and he fights them all back to back to back. They do eventually take him down, but it takes Power Girl and Green Lantern together. That's after he's already fought for weeks on end. It's crazy. Like, he picks up an aircraft carrier and throws it at New York City. One of the heroes prevents it from hitting. I forget if it's it might be Firestorm or someone. Definitely read World War III if you never have. Black Adam is just so OP. Like, he could definitely fight Superman one-on-one and win. Usually off, actually, like in that animated movie where he fights, Superman, Shazam, The Return of Black Adam, that animated movie. Superman and Shazam together can take him down, but either one solo, I really don't think so. And Black Adam's so much older and more experienced. I mean, the dude's 5,000 years old, so. Anyways, that's all for now. If you want to know more about Black Adam, I talk about him a ton in that video. I'll include a link to it. I talk about supervillains a lot in these biography videos, so check it out. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. And as always, thank you for watching and being a part of DC Fans United.
End of line.